Welcome to This Explainer. Let's kick things off with a pretty big question. Who is really in charge of the digital tools we use every single day? Is it just a handful of massive tech giants? Or, well, could it be you and me? Think about the apps on your phone right now, or the software you use for school and work. For the longest time, the barrier to creating those tools was just incredibly high. You literally had to learn complex programming languages just to get a super simple idea off the ground. But guess what? That barrier is completely collapsing. Today, we're going to explore a massive shift in how software is made and, more importantly, who actually gets to make it. For years, most of us have been totally trapped on the left side of this equation, right? Just passive digital consumers. We download whatever other people make, we awkwardly adapt our workflows to fit their clunky software, and we just kind of accept the limitations. But we are currently living through this really profound, empowering shift. We're moving toward becoming active digital creators. Because of new AI tools, you don't necessarily have to write every single line of code yourself to build a solution. Instead, your whole job is shifting. You're becoming the architect. You're the one who specifies, directs, and commissions new digital tools. You're literally moving from the audience right into the director's chair. So today, we are unpacking this fascinating concept called prompt to prototype. It's basically a structured process that takes your everyday problems and transforms them into functional digital realities. Think of it like the ultimate blend of creative energy and structured discipline. It takes the raw, messy, kind of street art style creativity of your initial ideas, and it refines them with the precise oil paint execution required to actually build a working digital product. It's an incredibly exciting framework, and I am super thrilled to walk you through it. Here is our roadmap for the explainer. We're going to trace the life cycle of an idea, moving from problem to MVP, using prompting as a blueprint, putting the user first, testing AI code, ensuring privacy and teamwork, and finally, diving into future skills. All right, let's dive into phase 1, problem to MVP, where we start small and solve real issues. Now, what's really interesting here is how this redefines our ultimate goal. An MVP, or minimum viable product, isn't some massive, perfect platform right out of the gate. Honestly, trying to build that is a total trap. Prompt to prototype teaches us that we aren't building a finished app. We are just building a focused learning tool to test a single core function. So if you're building a school calendar, just test the due date tracker first. Or if it's a vocabulary trainer, just test the basic flashcard mechanic. You have to keep it incredibly small. To avoid the nightmare of feature overload, we have to ask some pretty ruthless questions. What is the exact problem? Who is the target audience? And most importantly, what is the one main function? You have to be super disciplined here. You need to explicitly define what belongs out of version 1. By separating the essential core mechanics from the unnecessary distractions, you're actually setting yourself up for success rather than getting totally bogged down in endless development cycles. Moving right along to section 2, prompting as blueprint, where language becomes the interface. This completely illustrates the difference between just wishing for magic and providing a structured specification. A bad prompt is super vague, like just sitting down and asking for a school app. If you feed that into an AI, I guarantee you'll get a chaotic, unusable mess. A good product prompt, on the other hand, is a real blueprint. It defines the audience, like 7th graders. It defines the core function, like saving homework with due dates and highlighting what's overdue. And crucially, it sets strict boundaries, like explicitly stating no external data tracking. Language is no longer just how we chat with each other. It is the literal blueprint we use to instruct machines. Okay, on to section 3, user first, tech second. Because clarity beats showmanship every time. Usability is definitely not just decoration. It is a fundamental truth of product design. If users cannot find the main function, the technical value of the product just cannot be meaningfully tested. Think about it. If a 7th grader opens your brand new homework app and literally can't find the Add Assignment button, your app has failed, regardless of how incredibly elegant the underlying AI-generated code is. Whether you're building a complex data dashboard or a simple little learning quiz, clear microtexts, those little labels on buttons, and immediate user feedback are absolutely essential. A good user-centric prototype relies heavily on reduction. It prioritizes essential design elements like clear tasks, simple navigation, and instant feedback. It completely rejects feature overload. I'm talking about stuff like complex role management, chat systems, or cloud synchronization. Seriously, leave those massive features for much, much later. When you're prototyping, clarity beats showmanship every single time. Your only goal right now is to see if the core idea actually solves a real problem, not to build the next major software empire in a single weekend. Next up is Section 4, AI code and testing. This is where the prototype becomes a learning machine. As AI coding assistants become absolutely central to software development, which is a huge trend right now, it is vital to remember this one golden rule. AI can help build, but it does not automatically take responsibility for the built product. You do. AI is fantastic at suggesting patterns and generating routine code blocks, like simple forms or lists. But the human must validate the inputs, understand the technical dependencies, and really double-check the logic. You cannot just blindly copy and paste. You have to actually understand the architecture. To maintain that level of control, your prototype has to become a true learning machine. It's a loop. First, you build the feature. Second, you try it out in realistic scenarios. Third, you actively try to break it, find the bugs, debug the system. And fourth, you iterate and improve. Testing isn't just some annoying afterthought. It is the very heartbeat of the prompt-to-prototype method. It's the only way to prove that your initial idea can actually survive contact with reality. Let's step into Section 5, privacy and teams. This is all about responsibility and collaboration. If you are building tools for vulnerable users, like students in a school environment, you absolutely must follow strict safety protocols. Technical competence has to go hand in hand with legal compliance here. Minimize the data you collect. Does your simple little quiz app really need a kid's full name and email address? Probably not. Prefer local storage, always use anonymous test data, and thoroughly document your decisions. Responsibility has to be built into the very foundation of your prototype right from day one. And because an AI is a super powerful partner, but definitely not a complete team, building a product is still a highly collaborative human effort. You need distinct human roles to actually pull this off. A product manager to keep everyone focused on solving the right problem. A UX/UI designer to make sure the interface is clear. A privacy checker to protect the users. And a QA tester to actively hunt down flaws. Digital creation is interdisciplinary, and dividing up these roles ensures a balanced, secure, and genuinely useful final prototype. Finally, let's look at Section 6, Future Skills, and why prompt-to-prototype is so critical. Think about how rapidly we've evolved. We completely moved out of the era of syntax, where the main hurdle was manually memorizing programming languages. Then we hit the era of copilots, where AI helps us write that code. But today, we are accelerating straight into the era of co-creation. The barrier to entry has dropped so massively. The required skill isn't just typing code anymore. It is effectively defining problems, directing AI outputs responsibly, and critically evaluating the results. And hey, this isn't just theory. UNESCO explicitly describes students as responsible users and potential co-creators of AI systems. Understanding exactly how to build, reflect on, and iterate digital tools is the definitive future skill of the decade. It honestly applies whether you end up working in healthcare, administration, media, or education. It's all about achieving digital maturity, not just passively consuming technology, but actively, intentionally shaping it. So I want to wrap things up with a challenge for you. What idea are you going to build today? You now know for a fact that you don't need a massive team or years of coding experience just to start. You literally just need a clear problem, a structured prompt, and the willingness to iterate. Combine that raw, creative street art energy with the oil paint discipline of the prompt-to-prototype method. Take the leap into digital creation. The tools are right there waiting for you, so go build something amazing.